Hello, today is Thursday, June 8th, 2017, and today I want to talk directly to some of the questions that reviewers had for the visual essay. And so, for those who are unfamiliar with it, the visual essay is an academic writing about the Peacock Gen 2 3-in-1 stand-to-pee prosthetic penis. And what I had done was I'd actually in InDesign, I had actually used images and made them transparent, but had run the words to then be in shaped prose, so they're in the shape of the peacock that is then urinating this arched stream into a urinal. So some of the things that were brought up, having to do with prosthetic itself. In that there was like a question that someone had, a friend had at the time. Now, granted, I know within the context of the multi-layers of what was happening with that, the question when she joked, which anthropomorphized the prosthetic, and I'll actually probably talk about that some other time. Because although it comes up, I do address it, a little within the essay itself. But the thing that I talk about in there is that it's not just so. A lot of times the idea is that the way it was talked about was actually anthropomorphizing the penis, but it kind of depends on your standpoint, because as someone who has been objectified, that it's maybe less of pointing out the idea, this usual idea of anthropomorphizing an object, as it is pointing out that maybe I understand to some extent what that object might be experiencing because I myself have been so objectified. And in fact, given what that object is and what it is an imitation of, as a phallus, as a penis, that the presence or absence of that object on the human body is given more weight as to how that body is designated than what the person themselves declare as to their identity. So it may be that in that mode of being a translator, that yes, it is being anthropomorphized, and yet it also points back to you can't be a translator if you don't also know the language, the other language. So I've got my human spoken languages, and yet there is maybe an unspoken understanding between objects, and there have been times to have been so objectified, so as to give a reference point. To have that kind of a, whether you want to look at it as communicative or not, relationship with that object, to have at least some, maybe some notion as to what it might experience. Okay. So there's that.